everyone, Steve here from theturtlefollower.com, and in this lesson we're going to take a look at time frames. And time frames is one of those things that I think are very important for people to understand, but they don't really take the time to fully understand what a time frame can do to a trade and what a time frame can do to your mental state. Let's put it that way. So right here I have 4 different charts up. All right, they're all from the SPY. And the first one, the top left up here, is going to be a 3-year weekly chart. This side on the right, top right, 6-month daily, top or bottom left, a 20-day 1 hour, and bottom right, a 5-day 15-minute. Okay? And now I want to go through each one of these charts. This is, again, the SPY, and kind of show you if you're trading the wrong time frame, your style of trading may not benefit from what you're trying to do. Okay, so what I mean by that is, let's use me as an example. I'm an intermediate to longer term trader. Okay, I like to be in a position for a month to 6 months to a year. That's my style. Okay, that for a couple reasons. First, because I have a full-time job. I can't sit in front of the markets all day and watch every little movement. So the longer time frame that I have, the further zoomed out I am in a chart, the more it benefits me. All right, so I use 3-year weeklies and 6-month daily charts. That's my style. All right, but somebody that's looking to maybe trade for income or trade, day trade or scalp or whatever they're trying to do, maybe theirs is more on a 15-minute or a 5-minute or even a 1-minute chart. And the mentality and the difference between them can be completely different. Now, and we're going to go over a trade right now in the SPY. And you can see here in the 3-year weekly chart, right, top left, let's look at the trend. All right, so the trend of the 3-year weekly chart is higher, right? Bottom left, top right. So if I'm a longer term trader, maybe I'm an investor and I just want to buy the SPY, well, sure, go ahead and come back to it in 10 years. All right, that's the way this chart looks right here. Okay, so this is essentially, you know what, I want to buy my kids some stock. Maybe I don't want to pick stocks. I want to just buy something that's going to give them a dividend. Maybe there's somebody that has like their first $5,000 and they have no idea what to do with it. Buy the SPY. It's trending higher. It's a longer term chart. All right, you're not going to get hurt tomorrow or the next day, and it's going to take a long time for this chart to look worse than it does right now. All right, I use a combination of the weekly and the daily chart. So on my daily chart, yes, the trend is still higher. Okay, here's that same trend, but in the same respect, it's also kind of sideways, right? If we look at it here, kind of going sideways. All right, so it's a little bit different of a mentality. If I'm looking to trade for the next, 3 to 6 months, still probably want to buy the SPY, but understand that there's resistance right overhead, and I'm framing my support area, okay, right here at the 20-day, or I'm sorry, at the trend line. All right, so right at this 204 level. So either way, on those two charts, probably benefits you to want to be long the market. Now, if you come here and look at a 20-day hourly chart, all right, again, trend is still higher, okay, over the last little bit of time. All right, I'm doing this video on March 24th, and right here on March 11th, where my cursor is, the market started reversing and started moving higher, okay? But again, you can see here, probably running into resistance coming up right here at this 211 mark. But for right now, still looking good, but it did break down below its most recent low. Okay, still right back to the trend line, but ultimately looking good for, a trade for the next couple days. All right, so we went from years to months to days, and now we're going to look at the 15-minute chart, and this is something I very, very rarely look at. But what does this look like to you? Okay, here's a consolidation and a breakdown. All right, so this is where you want to maybe be short this stock. If you're trading on the 15-minute chart, this is something you want to probably be short, because you have a breakdown below a previous low. You have this downtrend line in place. All right, so again, depending on which time frame you're using is going to change the way you're looking at it. Now, because this is 15 minutes, you maybe want to be short for the next couple hours to days. All right. So again, there's a different way to frame your trades. It all determines what kind of trader you are. Again, longer term traders, you want to stay out of these intraday charts, these 15-minute and these hourly charts. They're just noise. All right, because where on this chart, you look here on the weekly chart. All right, I'll zoom in real close for you too. You zoom in on this weekly chart. Do you see a downtrend in place on the weekly chart? Absolutely not. But if you look at this 15-minute chart, you absolutely do. Okay, so again, this is something that I learned a long time ago. It helped me immensely. And it was, once you get in the trade, right, if you want to get in the trade based on a 15-minute chart or whatever, make sure you're framing your trade and zoom out. When I say zoom out, don't look at the hourly, don't look at the 6-month, maybe look at the weekly or look at the 6-month. All right, look at the daily. Either way, understanding the difference that you can see in multiple trends, all right, really determines how successful of a trader you are. Because for me, as a trend follower, as a longer-term investor, I will never look at anything lower than a day, okay, than a daily chart. It just doesn't happen. It just doesn't make sense for me. Now, if I have time and maybe I want to trade some options or something like that, different story. But for my primary goal and my primary system that I use, my time frame is a 3-year weekly and a 6-month daily. That's just the way it is. And on either of those, I am very happy to be long right now. When you start to look at the hourly, I start to get a little, you know what, we're coming back to a trend line. We broke down below a previous low. Not looking good. When I start to look on a 15-minute, completely different story. I don't want to be in the stock at all. So again, frame your time frames, frame your expectations based on those time frames, and it'll definitely help you in the long run, all right? Because you want to make sure that not only is your system compatible with your personality and your lifestyle, but you also want to make sure your time frames are compatible with your lifestyle, okay? And so there's a lot of things that have to marry well together, and when they do, it works out well. And when they do, that's when you go over to the charts that I normally show you guys, and I have my weekly, daily, and that's all I look at, all right? But again, depending on how you want to trade, just understand that you can come to different conclusions when you are looking at different charts, all right? And it really depends on what you want to do. This trade here on this 15-minute daily, if you want to short this, you could be out of this trade, tomorrow's open, depending on how we open, all right? But it takes a lot more time for something like a weekly chart and a daily chart to kind of show you an exit signal than it does a hourly and a 15-minute. So again, just trying to understand time frame, try and understand the way they fit within your trading style, and make sure you're using the right time frame for the type of trader you want to be. If you don't want to be a day trader, then get out of these intraday charts. If you don't want to be a trend follower, then get out of the weekly and daily charts. All right, there's different time frames for different theories and different strategies. Make sure you're using the right one, and it'll help you in the long run. So that's it for today's lesson. I hope you guys are enjoying these, and any questions or comments, please leave them below, and we'll be happy to answer them as best I can. Have a great rest of the night. Take care. See you later.